There are so many beauty myths out there, and I feel like a lot of people think some of them are true. And I know this because I get comments all the time and I'm like, nope, just not true. So you know what I decided to do? To make this video, and we're gonna break down some beauty myths that I think are really popular, and I'm gonna give you the truth. All right, so I have a magic box. We wrote down a ton of beauty myths in here. I'm gonna pick only like 5 of them because this video could get really long. You guys ready? Beauty myth number 1, your hair and skin gets used to products and they stop working. Not true, not true at all. So there are a few things that are kind of at work. So when you switch your skincare products or your hair care products, you might feel like the new products are working better. What you're really experiencing is that those products might actually do different things, or the needs of your skin or your hair have changed. So you might like say, oh, I switched my moisturizer, and that moisturizer had ingredients like hyaluronic acid maybe, and it was making your skin feel plumper. And then you switch to a moisturizer that was oil-free, and you start feeling like your skin wasn't as shiny and it looked a little bit less oily. And that's because the ingredients completely changed. The other thing that tends to happen is that your products actually work for you. You feel like your hair or your skincare products stop working because you've gotten your hair or your skin exactly where those products were supposed to get you. And so then you're just maintaining. And that's something that a lot of people don't think about. So don't discount your products. Just because you don't see anything happening doesn't mean that they're not working anymore. It might mean that they're just maintaining. All right, let's mix it up. Beauty myth number 2 is don't pull gray hairs out or more will grow back. Not at all, you guys. What you do to one hair follicle doesn't affect all the ones around it. If you pull a hair, what you're actually doing is potentially causing the root of the hair to never grow back again. That's why when you wax over time, your hair gets a little bit lighter, like it's not as coarse, you know? The same thing happens with your hair on your head. So if you're pulling out a gray hair, you're not growing more gray hairs. Instead, what's happening is you're causing your hair to get thinner. And that can actually affect you over time. You can actually end up with a bald spot if you keep plucking the same hair in the same exact place. It's gonna keep growing back gray, you guys. Instead, you should either color your hair regularly, get one of those like hair products that, you know, you can temporarily color your hair so the roots aren't so bad, or if you really hate the gray hair, just cut it really close to the root. Just go like snip and you're good and it's gone. Don't pull your gray hair because, I mean, I'm guilty of it. I admit it. I've pulled out a gray hair before, like in a rush, but you really shouldn't do it on a regular basis because you could actually cause a bald spot. Myth number 3. Shaving will make your hair grow back thicker and darker. You guys, I get this one the most. This is the biggest comment we ever get, and it's probably because one of our most popular videos is our video on dermaplaning where we shaved our faces. If you could shave your hair and it would grow back thicker, I think there would be 0 bald men. Every bald guy would go and shave his head because then he would get thicker hair, right? Here's what happens when you shave your hair, and this is what maybe makes people think that their hair is growing back thicker or darker. There's 2 things that happen. 1, when you shave your hair, you're like cutting it off in a blunt way, and it's right where your hair is the thickest. It's not the end of the hair or the bulb of the hair, it's right in the center where the hair really is the thickest. And then it just grows like a day or 2. It seems like it's so much thicker because that's where you cut it. So when you actually wax or tweeze a hair or something like that, what happens is the hair has to grow back from the thinnest point again, from the very end of it, so it feels like it's softer. And that's why people are like, oh, when you wax, you get thinner hair, it's less coarse and everything. That's also because they're starting to weaken the bulb of the hair, but you're not making the hair any thicker, you're just cutting it right where it's at its thickest. The other reason why it seems like it's a little bit darker when it grows back in is kind of the same reason. It's like right where your hair had the most pigment to it, like as it's been like sitting out at the very end and it's finer and everything, it has a little less color to it, or maybe it's even gotten like bleached by like sun exposure or whatever it is, but then you go and you shave your hair down and it's right where it's its thickest, right where it's its darkest, and it seems like your hair is getting thicker and darker. It makes a lot of sense. But again, I maintain bald guys would never be bald if they could just shave and grow thicker hair. Next myth. Products with all natural ingredients, aka organic, are safe for your skin and the best. I always hear they're also the best. Here's the problem. I understand what people are thinking. They don't want to like put chemicals on their skin, but what I always say to people is water is technically a chemical. So you shouldn't really think of it in those terms. Like chemical is not actually a bad word, and natural is not necessarily a good word, because a lot of the time what causes allergies and reactions is actually natural stuff if you think about it. What we're allergic to can be like a fruit or something in the air or some kind of like a scent. And so what I tell people is natural ingredients aren't necessarily the safest because you can still have a reaction to them. Instead, what I look for are non-toxic products. So non-toxic ingredients tend to be the ones that are like unscented or made for sensitive skin, or they're just not known to like do anything bad to our systems. And that's always kind of the way to go, because you shouldn't really be focusing on natural, because natural sometimes doesn't even work for you. Like sometimes throwing on some avocado on your skin really won't do much to your skin because it can't actually penetrate. So it's always important to look at the bigger picture. And non-toxic, if you want something safe, tends to be the safest, in my opinion. All right, this is the last one I'm gonna answer. Let's see. Botox can be preventative. I'm gonna start off by saying I'm a big fan of Botox. You guys know that I get Botox. I've shown you on my videos and everything, and you've seen me do it on Instagram. I always go to Dr. Deer. He does a great job. I tend to get it here in my crow's feet area. But as far as being preventative, there's a little bit of a catch there. I've now started to see and hear about like 21-year-olds, even like 18-year-olds starting to get Botox like in their forehead and in their crow's feet and everything. And what they tell me is they're doing it because it's preventative. And I feel like that might be a mistake. Because here's the thing. When you think preventative, you're thinking, I won't have to do this in the future because I took care of it already. But that's not true. If you get Botox, you're still gonna have to keep getting Botox in the future if you don't wanna have any lines. So just because you started it early doesn't mean that when you're 40, you don't have to do it anymore. It just means that the lines won't be as like strong and as deep. It's kind of like paper. It's the best way to think of it. So I obviously bent this piece of paper and now it has a crease in it. If that paper never got a crease because there was no expression, then it would be completely flat. But as soon as you stop the Botox, you eventually get creases. So you're still gonna get creases. Will they be as deep as they might have been if you never got Botox? Probably not. Probably not, but over time your skin's still gonna get weaker. Once you get older, your skin will still get saggy, you'll still lose collagen, all of that stuff. So you're still gonna have to maintain by getting more Botox. You just might not need as much as you would have needed had you never started doing it. So should you start when you're 18 or in your early 20s? I don't think so, you guys. Enjoy your skin, love yourself. I started doing Botox when I turned 30. Even at that, I didn't do a lot of Botox. I still don't do a lot of Botox. I haven't done my forehead in a long time. I feel like I don't really need it, and I feel like the best way to decide if you need Botox or if you want Botox is when your lines are actually bothering you. Like when your lines actually start to bother you, go handle them. They're probably not that deep yet. If they've gotten like super deep where you can like always see the line, even if you're not making an expression, it might be too late for Botox. And so those are kind of like the ways to think of it. Botox is, I guess, preventative, but not in the way that you would think. So that was fun. I actually love busting beauty myths. If you guys want to challenge me with some other beauty myths, let me know. Tell me in the comments below. Tell me what you guys know about these myths and what you've heard about them, and if you actually believed any of them, or if you already knew the truth, or if you don't believe me, let me know. I want to know. Give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.